Welcome to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever seen a horse who could talk? With your host, Louisa Barton, who really wants to be a famous rider. She really loves to ride fast. Presented by Peterson and Smith, Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Truth is, I have horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms. They are our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
And that's Dancing Pete Roeder from Complementary Horsemanship. I'm Louisa Barton, and we welcome you back this week. We're going to start by telling you about the lineup for the show, which is awesome, by the way.
Woo-hoo.
Dr. Adam Cayot is going to talk a little bit about those very annoying summer sores, why we can't get rid of them, and how to make them go away, and how frustrating they are, and we certainly are in the summer. And then a friend of ours is joining us a bit later on.
Top barrel racer, Mandy Amos, and Rory, her daughter, will be joining us on this segment afterwards.
Yes, and Rory has a lovely shirt on with DAC vitamins and minerals on one side. Don't laugh at me. And Larson hay on the other, which is rather nice. So we'll be talking a little bit about that and about how to become an amazing barrel racer or training performance horses at MR Performance, and Tik Maynard, who is a top horseman and an author and won Road to the Horse this past competition. We have a pre-recorded segment that we did at his farm. It was very nice.
Lots of fun.
Yeah, and of course we'll have our normal tips of the week from Dancing Pete Roeder from Complementary Horsemanship, and of course Neil from Ocala Dog Ranch, where every time my truck door is open, my dogs jump in and think that that's where they can go to play at Ocala Dog Ranch.
That should be a commercial.
Shouldn't it? It's actually a good idea. Well, let's do it. We'll film them jumping in. They think they're heading off to the ranch.
Every time you open your car door, now your horses think they're going to see Neil at
My horses?
Ocala.
You mean my dogs?
Your dogs. There you go.
We do have some... well, look at that for timing. Anybody would think it was planned. It's going to be epic, the Dog and Pony Show. Going to be a really exciting event. This is in August at the Equine Performance and Innovative Centre out there in the northwest part of Ocala. We are going to have an epic dog and pony show. I love it. There'll be a mobile dock event, International Dog Sport's first ever Florida mobile dock event.
Dock diving.
Dock diving, August 23rd to 25th. Lots of other activities going on there at 5590 Northwest Highway 225. It's my birthday weekend, so if you want to bring me a Prezi, you can.
A Prezi.
A Prezi.
But this will be a lot of fun because there'll be vendors, food, and you'll get to tour the facilities and what Epic does to help horses and dogs.
Yes, they got wonderful therapeutic treatments, conditioning for horses and dogs if your animal needs to recover from an injury, or if your animal just wants to get fitter with some non-impact exercise. If you have a competition dog, you get a chance to see the swimming pool and the treadmill and all of that. And Dancing Pete will be the epic rodeo clown appearance for the Dog and Pony Show.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you'll get hosed down. It might be warmish. And don't forget to bring me a Prezi.
A Prezi.
We also have very exciting coming up in November, the Equine Industry Expo, Hobby Horse Equestrian Games, and Horse Capital Parade.
And the kitchen sink.
And the kitchen sink, yes.
All on November 22nd and the 23rd.
Yes, at the Florida Horse Park. And last year we had 756 children sign up to do the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games. And we had barrel racing, roping, dressage, show jumping, mounted shooting, polo.
And this year we're going to have, for the first time, Pasofino class where they'll have a sounding board where they'll get to go do tap your way down the board.
Tap your way down the board. Loads and loads of fun. We had end of the day trophies for the best stick horse, the ugliest, wonkiest, funniest stick horse, and we also had reserve grand champ and champion trophies if you competed all day in all the fun activities. And there is, I see Rory looking at her mum like, we're going. Yes, we are going. Rory, you're going to teach them barrel racing, okay? Vendors, food trucks, carriage rides by Larson Hay all day on the 23rd. There'll be horse demos at the expo. Linda Pirelli is our very special guest for both of those days. We're excited to have her. And there'll be farriers and equine dentists and veterinarians on hand to tell you about all the wonderful careers on the 22nd. And more fun on the 23rd. So 2 great days of horsing around, free admission for all, thanks to our sponsors. And again, at the Florida Horse Park with a breed exhibit. And we are going to benefit the Foundation for CEP for equine education out of this wonderful 2-day event. So there'll be vendors and food trucks and fun things to do. So definitely worth coming. And you know, we have over 70 breeds of horses in Marion County. So if you want to come and see a lot of those, it's a great opportunity to...
I thought it was 63.
No, it's 72.
72.
To be exact.
Wow.
It was 69, but we found out about 3 more. So there you go. There you have it. Very exciting. July's 4 Bullies and a Cookie fundraiser has started. So you can find 4 bullies and a cookie. I love the name of that, and I do love bullies. You know, I have 2 mixed breed dogs that have some bully in them.
What are bullies?
You don't know what bullies are?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Google that one, Pete. They're nice dogs. OHA,
Pit bulls? Is that what you're talking
Bullies.
about? Okay.
Open Hands Animal Rescue will benefit from this fundraiser, so please go on. Here you go. Here's the details. Look at this. Make sure you support them. They donate 100% of the commission from sales for the entire month of July. Every order adds up to huge amounts for the rescues, helping save lives one warmer at a time. So go online and do as much as you can to support this, invite people, and follow this, because OHA does absolutely fantastic work. We love Tammy Leedy. Oh, and speaking of the Leedies, there they are. Look at that.
I heard something happened for Eddie.
Yes, it's a big deal on social media now. So Eddie is now wearing the navy blue. Yesterday he was sworn in as a reserve for Ocala Police Department. That's his beautiful wife, Tammy, a dear friend of mine. They live near me. I'm very blessed to have them as such wonderful friends. And, you know, rumor has it you might see some horses in downtown Ocala soon with Eddie Leedy.
So he had to go back into service?
Yes.
So that he can do the mounted police.
And those that were asking about the Humane Society, don't worry, he's got both handled very well. So we're very excited. We'll see these lovely horses downtown very soon. And we're very excited that Ocala Police Department is doing such wonderful things that fit so well in the horse capital of the world. MTRA, Marion Therapeutic Riding Association. Shout out for Jenna Rovera, who brought us dinner. We love her dearly. Looking for sponsors to get behind the summer camp for MTRA to help kids go to camp. It's $375 a week. So if you're a business out there and you would like to help with horsemanship, riding skills, creative arts, team building, and fun activities.
And shout out to Pat Myers Electric for getting it started.
I see that. And don't forget, it's July 4th this week. Happy July 4th, celebrating beating the Brits.
Yes.
Anyway, I think it's time for a break. We're coming back with Dr. Adam Cayot. Stay with us.
This portion of the Horse Talk Show is brought to you by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Our television broadcast sponsor, Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and supporting sponsors, DAC Minerals and Vitamins, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip, Piranha, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, and Ocala Dog Ranch. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, And Dak has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddak.com. Dak, it makes a world of difference.
Equestrian. It's not just a word but a title. It comes paired with hard work, discipline and talent. Lipchip is a company built by equestrians to make life at the barn a little easier. Introducing the Hooflink system, powered by Lipchip, where a microchip becomes a secure key to unlock temperature, register for your next event, and keep track of required documents. Simply implant, scan, and unlock. Equestrians, the future is here, and the future is Lipchip.
The team of professionals at Equifence of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing, offering great communication, quality fencing, and all done in a timely manner. Reliable service with horse safety in mind all the time. Also offering customized residential, vinyl, wood, aluminium, and chain link fences services. Equifence of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe. For more information, find Equifence of Florida on Facebook now. Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television, and we're at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care in the horse capital of the world with our very favourite veterinarian that we love to chat to on the show, Dr. Adam Cayot. Thank you for being with us again.
Nice to be here.
We're towards the end of the summer now, but Florida doesn't seem to know that yet. We're having a nice overcast day today with a little less heat, which is lovely. But summer sores are a really big problem, especially here in Florida, and they're a bit of a mystery to most horse owners.
Yeah.
Can you unravel that a bit for us?
Well, I can do some of that. So what is a summer sore? Let's start with that. So a summer sore is a sore. It tends to be a granulomatous sore. So basically, it's a sore that you notice doesn't seem to heal no matter what you do. It's basically caused by a little larva called a habronema. Habronema are carried by flies. It's not a fly larva. It's not a maggot. But the habronema are carried by flies. Those then are dropped onto a wound, a cut, a scratch, whatever on the skin, and the horse is basically a dead-end host for that larva. And those larvae sit in the skin and they cause an irritation. And as they cause an irritation, the skin reacts to that, and the wound reacts to that by trying to build more tissue, that granuloma that you see. And horses, it tends to itch. So horses will scratch it a lot, will sometimes bite at it, and then that just makes it worse because then that makes the sore worse. Horses tend to get it on their lower limbs, around their face, their mouth. That's where you tend to see it. They can have them anywhere. I've had them on the neck. I've had them on, the shoulder.
I've had them on legs.
Yeah, lower limbs for sure. That's very common. Underneath their bellies. I've had them all different spaces, but the most common spots are their lower limbs, cannon bones, feet, kind of cannon bone on down to hoof. And then around their face, around their mouth, eyes, ears, anywhere where they can easily scratch. That's generally where you see them. Why one horse gets them and another one doesn't, I don't know. We don't know. And it's kind of funny because once a horse gets a summer sore, they tend to get them again and again and again. So,
It does seem like some horses are more predisposed to them for some
yeah,
reason, doesn't
exactly. And you know, there's no study out there as far as an immunity, response to them. But I will say that I think it does tend to happen in older horses to where, their immune response isn't quite as good. And it's only one case. But I have one client that their horse would get summer sores regularly, and pretty large ones. And I started using an immune stimulator on that horse, and basically I used it through as long as the weather's warm. So I give him a shot of X-Stim once a month, and whether it's that or whether it's happenstance, I don't know. But that horse will still get them, but they aren't near as bad as they were.
Wow. So that's an immune builder.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Ooh. It's an immune booster, so to speak. So that's been pretty nice. Now it's about $70 a shot. So it's not cheap to do.
But well worth it if you're dealing with summer sores.
I mean, they can be headaches, and
yes.
if you got one that keeps getting it over and over and over again. It seems to have worked in this horse. Like I said, it's only one horse, so it's not a true study, but it seems to have helped in this particular horse. The way that I treat them, I typically give a systemic dewormer, either an ivermectin or Quest, a moxidectin, something in that family. I give it 3 doses over a 5-week period. So I give a dose on week 1, week 3, and week 5. And then typically I have a hydrocortisone cream that I mix up, and I put the dewormer actually right in the hydrocortisone cream.
Really?
And if the lesion can be wrapped, then we have them wrap it. Obviously, it's very difficult to wrap things on their face, on their mouth, in their eyes. I've had them in their eyes.
Ooh.
So that obviously presents a problem. But
yes.
If you can wrap it, that helps a lot, because not only the ivermectin and the dewormer kills the larva, but the hydrocortisone also quelches the itch, so it calms the response, and they don't scratch at it.
They're not rubbing it as much, making it worse.
Exactly. I certainly see more of them now than I used to, and I can only attribute that to a warmer environment. There's more flies. The flies aren't dying. I mean, I've been here 22 years now, and there seems like there's more flies. And so, if you have a lot of flies,
there are more horses. There are more horses here than I think we've ever had, right?
So I'm seeing a lot, and try to fly control best you can.
Yes.
Hey,
shout out for Piranha. Get your Fly Master system in the barn.
Yep, that helps cut down on flies. Have good manure removal, plan on your farm, and any of those things to cut down on the flies that you have will cut down on the transmission of the little Habernema.
Yes, that's definitely going to help as much as can be, right? But our horse population has grown substantially here, as you as veterinarians know, with your workload that you have. So that definitely is always going to bring more flies, more horses, more manure, more flies. So that's probably why we're seeing so much more of it.
Yep.
But it is always been a bit of a battle to get rid of them. People always say, oh, a horse got a summer sore, and it's a kind of a...
No, they can be bad. And the telltale sign is they're typically round. And they just don't get better no matter what you do. I hear, I've been putting, Peterson, or I've been putting my favorite ointment or whatever on it.
Swat all around it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just not getting better. I've been treating it for 2 weeks or whatever. And they can get away from you, and they can be, I've had them really bad where they get a big old proud flesh.
They can be ugly.
That you don't want to let them get that long, because those are bears, and unfortunately you let them go long enough. If you get it fixed, it's going to be a big ugly scar, there. So
yes. This is true. So nipping it in the bud as quickly as possible.
If you see a wound that's just doesn't seem to be going the right direction, the fallback is, I bet you this is a summer sore, and it doesn't hurt to just start deworming your horse. Even though it's been dewormed on your regular schedule, this is separate. This is a treatment instead of just a, kind of preventive maintenance stuff.
That makes total sense. So nip it in the bud as quickly as possible. If you think it's a summer sore, very circular, very stubborn, not going away with your normal protocols that you, like you said, with your favorite ointments and sprays and things that you use. If it's not healing, there's a really good sign that that's probably what it is. And it definitely needs to be nipped in the bud as quickly as possible.
Right, yep.
Before it gets really ugly.
Yeah, they can get really bad.
Dr. Adam Cayot with Peterson Smith Equine Hospital, Complete Care, talking about stubborn, tricky summer sores. Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show. Who has not dealt with those pesky summer sores? Most people have.
I have.
Yeah. See, I told you. It's 100% of the 3 people sitting here. So Dr. Cayot definitely had some ideas. But I've got a non-horse related question. Okay, just because, we chat on breaks. How many people actually want to see Stonehenge? I know this has nothing to do with horses, but since it was a topic on the break, Betsy and I did not make it to Stonehenge. I'm just curious. Isaac said he wanted to see it.
I want to see it. I never saw it.
Pete wanted to see it.
I'm all right.
You're okay, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd pass.
Yes, I went by it. It's one of those things you can go by and say you saw it, and then you're good, I think. So anyway, just interested. Anybody want to see it?
Well,
I don't know.
Obviously, that will not be a stop for your tour guide.
A tour guide of, England.
England.
We'll probably pass that one and just wave out the window, I hope Isaac gets to see it. We're going to go to break. We're actually sitting here with Mandy Amos, and we're going to be chatting to her and her daughter Rory in the next 2 segments. So it's definitely worth staying with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
This portion of the Horse Talk Show is brought to you by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Our television broadcast sponsor, Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and supporting sponsors DAC Minerals and Vitamins, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip, Piranha, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, and Ocala Dog Ranch.
Faulty wiring is the leading cause of barn fires. I'm Pat with Pat Myers Electric. Equine facilities have special electrical needs. The knowledgeable and licensed team of electricians at Pat Myers Electric will ensure that you can achieve your vision for a beautiful, safe, and functional horse facility. From new construction to rewiring and updating, the Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe. With a small farm of our own, we truly understand the unique concerns of the horse owner. Don't take chances. For all your current barn needs, go to patmyerselectric.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at seminolefeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hey, this is Buck Brannaman. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with dancing Pete Roeder from Complementary Horsemanship, and we have a special guest who's not been here for a couple of years apparently, so it's much too long.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. That's Mandy Amos from MR Performance Horses. Mandy, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit of your background before we ask you all the questions that we have.
Okay, well, I moved to Florida when I was about 20 years old to gallop racehorses, and it was...
So 5 years ago?
Yes, 5 years ago.
We love you, Pete.
You know, it might have been 6.
Okay.
Might have been 6. And was galloping racehorses for a whole year. It was a tough time not having any barrel horses with me, but it was a lot of growing up to do, and it was a good time.
Lots of lessons to be learned in galloping racehorses.
Yep, so that was great. And then I shipped down one of my finest horses, which I'm sure Rory will talk about. It was Cash as a 2-year-old, and kind of trained him and dabbled into the barrel horses, getting back in them, and actually did a lot with thoroughbreds off the track.
I love off the track thoroughbreds.
Yeah, we, Rex and I, started dating 6 years ago. And we'd get a lot of thoroughbreds off the track and put a handle on them, sell them for polo ponies and show horse prospects. And that's kind of how we started working with the horses and then getting into the quarter horses. And rented a farm and trained some horses, rented stalls, trained horses, and then eventually got our own farm and been training horses since.
Amazing.
Very good.
Yep,
Yeah.
Rex keeps busy shoeing horses, selling trucks, and I ride barrel horses. Stopped riding thoroughbreds about, well, Rory's 8, so my little 6 years ago is kind of going to be a little bit of a lie. So we're lying a little bit there, but yeah, I stopped galloping racehorses a little bit after my daughter was born, and just mostly been doing thoroughbreds since, and some sales with DAC products,
Yes.
7 saddles, and some other stuff. So stay pretty busy.
Talk to us a little bit about DAC.
Well, I've been with DAC for 10 years, since 2014, when I was out on the rodeo road with Maximum Gold my rookie year. And I've just used so many of their products over the years.
I have as well. Really
Lots.
impressive.
I've pretty much tried everything, and they've come out with some new good stuff that I really like. The poultice has been super popular.
They actually have July. They have this on sale.
Yes, and I was talking with Tiffany this morning, messaging her, and I'm ready to put in another big order. The DAC pasture licks are super. We use those a lot with the horses turned out all the time, and I think one of my new favorites is the laser sheen. Some friends who train horses also were like, you carry this? I'm like, I haven't gotten that product yet. And Rory's little mare has a dry mane and tail, and it's just a lot. She sweats, she's a hot horse, and I started using this product. I spray her mane morning and night. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Really?
So
Seen an amazing difference.
Yeah, really love it. So the poultice is super popular. We use.
You're right, it is. I've heard a lot
Yeah,
of feedback.
yep.
I have not used it, but I've heard a lot of good things about the poultice.
I usually buy a pallet of the poultice. The DAC pasture licks are pretty popular. The horses love them.
The electrolytes are great because they don't have added sugar.
Yep, no sugar in the electrolytes. So that's, my horses get the electrolytes year round. It's just something to not go
You
without.
live in Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The
Hot and
winter,
hotter.
Where winter can be summer in one day.
Absolutely, it can be 90 and 20. In 2 different days.
So
or 12
just for
hours.
people that aren't familiar with barrel racing, tell us a little bit of the rules and what you're timed and how you go about it.
Okay, well, the barrel races, it's pretty simple. My husband reminded me last weekend, it is a speed event.
It's fast. I was about to say, well, I can tell you right now it's fast.
Yeah, it is a speed event. So the cool thing with the barrel racing is there's so many different entry levels. Like there's the NBHAs and the local shows, the cloverleaf pattern. It's great for the family.
that's
Everybody
fast.
can do it. This is Harley. She's a cool little mare I got to put some training on, and got to steal her for a rodeo at the EBA finals. She did phenomenal. But yeah, so there's rodeos, there's super shows, slot races. You can keep it as small as you want or as big as you want. I mean, the sky's the limit. This is the Rory's horse, Cash. He's super cool. Bought him as a yearling out of South Dakota. He's now 20.
Right-hander.
20. Wow.
Yep. So
he looks extremely well.
Cool. Yep. He was the 2D state champion in that video. So there's just so many levels if you want to stay local and just do the shows local through your NBHA and different, there's so many different associations now. Or if you want to travel the country, you can really do so much.
So you can do as much or as little as you
can
choose to.
You know,
you can do it for fun or you can get serious.
Yeah, a lot of people do it for a hobby. A lot of people, make a living selling horses, training horses. You got to be winning to make a living training the horses doing it. But yeah, selling the horses and taking them to the next level. There's
so
a lot
what's the
to
penalty for knocking a barrel down?
So for the barrel races, the rodeos you can get a +5. Like you can actually, if it's a small rodeo, you can place with a +5. I've seen that before. Most of the barrel
+5 would be penalties.
Yes.
Okay.
And most of the barrel races, it's a no time if you hit a barrel.
Is it
really?
Yep, no time. So really want to keep the barrels up. But yeah, some of the rodeos +5, and if they're small enough, I've seen you place with a +5.
So when you're heading at a barrel and you're thinking about how fast you're going, how hard is it to calculate? I always look and I watch so closely to see how close they come to the barrels, but it's got to be so hard to estimate how actually fast you can go and turn without knocking it over. I always think that must be the hardest part.
Yeah, the good horses, they just make it happen. It's just easy. It's some that are maybe a little green or a little not as confident, and just getting your timing right, it is tough. And then
that's action right there.
That horse is a new one of mine, and the timing, I'm either turning on top of the barrels or maybe running by them. So that's still a work in progress. And
that's incredible.
She doesn't want to hit a barrel to save her life. She is a saint. She's amazing. She won a lot of money at the finals that weekend. She had never really been to a rodeo, and I retired my old horse, Maximum Gold, and one of my good friends I said, hey, can I borrow your horse? She's like,
what's
are you
her name?
serious? Streak a Bunny, but we call her Harley because she thinks she's a Harley Davidson sometimes, I guess. But yeah, she did phenomenal. I think we got 3rd in the average, 2nd in the short go. She placed and stepped up and really ran hard. She was pretty amazing. It was an awesome weekend.
So about what age do you like to start them around the barrels? That's a little controversial, but like if I have it and can do it my way, I want to start them as a yearling, late in the yearling, November, December, even October. Put a saddle on them, pony them, do my groundwork, my ground driving, put a few rides on them, kick them out for a little bit, bring them back as a 2-year-old, do some more light riding, and start them on the barrels late 2-year-old, early 3-year-old, depending. And then usually we start, if you're going to do the futurities, which is an aged event, futurities and derbies, you usually start November 15th to have them running. I'm never usually yeehawing at November 15th. Like we're just kind of little slower getting them going, which is fine. I usually strive to try and make a rodeo horse for down the road and bring them on at their own. But some are ready. Rory's little horse was ready coming out of the starting gate credit. November 15th, she was ready to rock and roll. It just kind of depends on the horse and their mentality, what they can handle mentally and physically. And then, of course, being on the road is...
Yep, I try to stay a little bit more local here. We haven't really ventured out to any of the big futurities, which they have everywhere, and all the incentives, so there's so much opportunity. We haven't gotten quite there yet. Mostly stay local with Rory. She's still in school, and she's just starting to dabble in the youth rodeos, so that's a whole nother cup of tea. Gonna have to try and juggle it all, but eventually I'd like to get back out there and do some more rodeos.
That's wonderful. Well, that, Winnie, means we have to go to break. We have some goodies for you, but we'll give them to you and Rory in the next segment.
We like goodies.
Yes, because we are going to have Rory join us next. So stay with us on the Horse Talk Show. We're adding a seat and adding a young lady who is an equestrian herself. Excited to introduce you to her. We'll be right back.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Equestrian. It's not just a word but a title. It comes paired with hard work, discipline, and talent. Lipchip is a company built by equestrians to make life at the barn a little easier. Introducing the Hoofling system, powered by Lipchip, where a microchip becomes a secure key to unlock temperature, register for your next event, and keep track of required documents. Simply implant, scan, and unlock. Equestrians, the future is here, and the future is Lipchip.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever heard of a horse that can talk? Listen to this. With your host, Louisa Barton. She's literally in love with every horse. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. She's back in the saddle again. And now here's your host,
Pretty.
Louisa Barton. She's a Brit, she's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Welcome back to the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
That's Dancing Pete Roeder from Complementary Horsemanship. I'm Louisa Barton, and we have Mandy and Rory Amos here in the studio with us. Rory, I love your shirt. Well done. Can everybody see that? I think they can. See, she's got Dak on one side and Larson Hay on the other. It doesn't get much better than that.
And then her hat just...
And then her hat. She's so great.
Off.
Rory, tell us how old you are.
8.
You're 8 years old. You're tall. So you've been riding since you were about a year old?
Yes.
That's pretty awesome. Started off kind of doing the lead line.
Mm-hmm.
Pete and I had no idea there were lead line barrel races.
And for
I actually think it's worth filming this. I really do, because there's parents who run.
We've got a lot of blooper videos. And from other parents.
I want them.
That would be awesome.
I know, wouldn't it? So you were very young when you started, but you love riding, right?
Yes.
And so Larson Hay sponsors your hay, don't they, for your horses?
Yep.
What are your horses' names?
Credit and Cash.
Cash and Credit. I love it.
Wow.
I know, it's so great.
So which one is the one you ride the most?
Probably Credit.
Credit? And then what's the story behind Cash? How did you get Cash? Oh, is it Credit that you stole? Oh, my
Credit,
fault.
she kind of stole them both, but she
Okay.
definitely stole Credit, didn't you?
So who'd you steal Credit from?
My mom.
Oh.
My favorite horse ever, and you stole her.
Really?
Yeah, she was my favorite.
Oh, wow.
So, Rory, if you're on the radio, guys, you can't see this, so you have to go to either Facebook or Equus Television, and you can see Rory actually And I'm not saying it's not wonderful for all the kids out there riding ponies, because I love to see kids riding, but this young lady rides big horses.
Yeah.
Don't you? Yes. You ride big horses, and that's pretty impressive. Tell us what you love the most about riding. Do you have a favorite sport? I see here you're doing some pole bending. You do some barrels.
Barrels.
So you're going to come to the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games and do barrels on a stick horse?
I could see her doing that for sure.
Could too.
Definitely.
I think she'd have a blast. I'm not.
Could you teach the other kids how to do barrels?
Maybe.
I bet she could.
I bet Mom could.
Yeah, it might be. She might win if she competes. I have a feeling she might have the best stick horse too. So tell us a little bit about your horse's personalities. Let's start with Cash. What's he like?
Cash.
Is he kind of fun?
Yeah, he is really fun.
What does he always look for?
He always looks for cookies, and when we know he's looking for cookies, he keeps moving his lips.
He pops his lips.
Does he? Oh, he knows.
He loves cookies.
So we have up here on the screen your title as assistant trainer. So you help your mom. What kinds of things do you do to help?
Well, I ride my horses, and sometimes I ride her horses, and I feed some of the horses.
She said you do some of the DAC oil, squeezing that in the food. I see you're busy here doing something.
Putting the DAC ice on Credit's legs.
So you're a little worker. So you have to do all your barn stuff and go to school, right?
Yes.
How do you do at school? Do you do good?
Really good.
Oh yeah, she puts all her energy into school.
That's good. So you can focus on both things. You can do well with the horses and do well at school.
Yes.
How often do you ride?
Well, for the summer, I've started trying to do it every day. And sometimes school days, I don't do it every day.
Yeah, school days we usually concentrate on school, and she is exhausted. She puts it 100% into her school, so I will sometimes exercise the horse lightly and give her a couple days off during the week.
That's good. So you can focus on getting good grades.
Yeah.
Do you know what you want to do when you grow up?
I haven't really decided yet.
Probably something to do with horses, though.
Hopefully not.
I was going to say, Mom's over there going, nothing associated with horses.
Yeah. She always used to tell me she wanted to be a tooth fairy. And I'm like, a dentist? That's a great idea. She's like, no, Mom, a tooth fairy.
No. Okay. So what's your very favorite thing to do at the barn? Do you have a favorite chore?
Probably ride my horses.
Yep. And what about, do you have anything that you want to accomplish, like a goal, a special goal that you want to win, something? Is there a competition that you want to win?
Well, if I win something at shows, my parents will double it.
I like that way.
That can come back and haunt you.
Yes, it can.
$20,000 purse might be.
Especially when our big target we have is the World Equestrian Center has a big youth barrel race the end of August. So to get Rory to try and go a little faster, she's making super consistent runs. Rex and I told her last week if she wins a little check, because we've been outside of, in the open, we're out of the money a little bit. So if she gets a check, if she won $20, we told her we'd double it, plus it's good math skills. And she was right on with that, but yeah.
Then you found out how much the World Equestrian Center may win.
Yeah, that one might be a little bit big, so yeah, but she remembers things. Doesn't forget.
Just don't forget about those zeros afterward.
Yeah.
When you double it.
So do you ever get nerves when you're competing? Do you ever get worried or anything, or are you just tough?
No, I don't get worried.
That's good, because you know
you
get worried.
I get worried.
Mom gets
Mom's
worried.
over there.
Chicken, trying to video. Dad's bringing her in the arena. Yeah, I get worried. But Rory's like, I got this, Mom.
Yeah, you do. That's wonderful. Well, you've got very, very well trained, very well fed, well taken care of horses, right? And that matters. So you go prepared, right?
Yes, that's wonderful. Well, we have a couple of things for you down here that Dancing Pete Roder is going to get for us. We have some Piranha goodie bags for you that have some things specially for you for your horse. We've got a little Shine Baby Shine, and then we know that we need fly spray at this time of year. And these are nice sizes to take to shows.
Perfect.
So we've got 2 goodie bags, one for each of you, and we've got 2 brushes for you as well. And this is what we call a dandy brush because it's nice and stiff and it gets all the dirt out. So that one is for you.
All the splint boots, right? Getting them all clean.
There you go. That's good for scrubbing horses and boots, and one for you.
Yep.
And there's one requirement with that brush because it has the Horse Talk Show on it. You have to take pictures at the different places you're at.
We're good at taking pictures, aren't we?
Yes, all the places you go, take pictures with your brush, and then you can tag us so we can see all your adventures.
The adventures of Rory.
Especially when you win. Yeah. We love those. Well, we want to thank both of you. Thank you, Rory, for being on the show. You were very brave. We want to do a shout out to DAC Vitamins and Minerals because we are very, very grateful for the incredible products. They have a huge vitamins. Oh, that's right. It's almost July 4th. You win.
That's right.
Very funny. And also to Larson Hay for sponsoring Rory because she definitely appreciates the quality hay her horses.
Can you say it?
Thank you, Larson.
There you go.
Yes, because your horses look extremely well and healthy on all that they get.
Well
so
fed.
well done. We want to thank both Mandy and Rory for being here with us. And Rex, hi out there if you're doing horse chores for them this evening. We appreciate this family so much. Love having them on the show. And let's not wait 2 more years to have you back again.
I think it was more than 2.
It might be. You might be right. Time flies when you have horses, doesn't it? We will be back in just a few minutes with Tik Maynard. Stay with us on the Horse Talk Show. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equigreen, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center. The team of professionals at Equifence of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing, offering great communication, quality fencing, and all done in a timely manner. Reliable service with horse safety in mind all the time. Also offering customized residential, vinyl, wood, aluminium, and chain link fences services. Equifence of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe. For more information, find Equifence of Florida on Facebook now.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equigreen with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equigreen came to life. Equigreen, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
Does your farm need a facelift? Has the harsh Florida climate left your barn, stable doors, and fences stained? J&S Pressure Washing has a professional team who can exceed your expectations and restore your farm to its former glory. Get rid of dust and cobwebs that can cause allergies and health issues for horses, and keep your horses safe by limiting fire hazards in the barn. J&S Pressure Washing can clean your house, your barns, your fences, and your driveway, and you can count on dependable and professional services. For more information, call Stephen at 352-502-5355.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
This is Charlotte Cannon, and you are listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show, Equus TV Network 97.3 The Sky, and the CEP's Equine Initiative. We are having talk with Tik, here with Tik Maynard, World Championship colt starter from Road to the Horse. I'm here with Dancing Pete Roder, my co-host, and we're going to start this segment off with you, Pete.
So, prep is what we were talking about last. Preparation. And I thought about this after you won it. I found out you won it, and I was all excited, and I was like, how did he do that? Because when I saw you prepping, the first time I saw you with Glenn Stewart, I walked out there, and you weren't normal. You were like, didn't say, you waved at me and that was it, and you were doing what you were doing in the round pen with the horse. And then the second day I came back and you're like, hey Pete, and it was like we were buddies and everything was fine for you, and I said, oh, you feeling better today? And you were like, oh yeah, I was really nervous.
Yeah.
Because you were out of your element, and that's when I said to you, well, congratulations for putting yourself out there for this competition. But then I thought about Charlotte Cannon, and you're friends with Charlotte Cannon, world champion and lots of different things. That these show people, you went to where? You went to all the professionals you knew that were good colt starters, and you prepped yourself for the competition before you showed up. And that's hats off. Like if I was asked to do that, I'd probably go, oh yeah, I've started some colts, and walked in there and gone, what? I only have 5 minutes? What am I supposed to do with this? So, and even your pen wrangler, like you didn't pick a horse person. You picked somebody that you knew would keep the time, keep you involved, and all that. So tell us about the preparation that you did for this, because the competition's great, but let's hear about the prep. Why did you pick the certain people? And what'd you do?
So, I mean, that's like a whole, that's a big question. I mean, there's
that's a whole show.
There's
that's a whole show. Let's make it.
There's so many interesting parts to that question, and I'm going to try to give you like a glimpse into my mindset. So first of all, putting the team together was a big part of my preparation. So I had, Nick as my pen wrangler, and you say he's not a horse person. He's not a professional horse person, but he's a very knowledgeable horse person. He's got a good read on horses, and he's got a good read on me, and he's got a very calm energy. And the logistical stuff I knew he would be on top of, and he's a very supportive person. So I had him as my pen wrangler.
Because you don't need somebody in your ear. Hey, you missed that. Let's do this.
That's the thing.
What are you doing?
I didn't want to coach on the day. Like I wanted to be able to. So I'll come back to the rest of my team in a sec. But basically, in terms of the coaching, what I wanted to do is between when I found out I was doing it, which was like in July or August last year, and then at the end of March is the competition. What I wanted to do all the way leading up to the end of February, I wanted to put myself in as many learning situations that were out of my comfort zone as possible. So I rode with Martin Black. I took lessons with Jake Birnbaum. I, started a horse with Tom Peterson, a reiner down the road. I went to Argentina and did that. I did a chicken camp, which I haven't told you guys about, in Seattle. I went to Yvonne Barteau's place, and I started 2 horses under the timeline with her.
Horses without humans.
Horses without humans. So I tried to really and I was reading books and watching DVDs, and I was really just trying to bring in all new stuff into my life and put myself out of my comfort zone a little bit. And then
so kind of like your book?
Kind of like my book.
Your first book? Is this going to be your second book?
It might be.
Outside the comfort zone, I think, by Tik Maynard.
That's
a great title.
I like that.
I do that quick sometimes.
I love that. And then once March 1st hit, I basically had 3 weeks, and my goal was to now, at this point, not be outside of my comfort zone very much, but to take all that knowledge and information and go back and incorporate it into who I am and my style and my way of working with horses, and really build my confidence back up, because I had lost a little confidence in some of these things, and just go like, this is the way I'm going to do it. If I don't know something, like it's too late to learn it now. And I got to like really own who I'm going to be on that.
And would you say that's what show people should do? Like some people listening might be more show oriented. They're not going to do a colt start, but you're saying when you get to the show, coaching's done.
Yeah.
You gotta put it out there, and you either have it or you don't, and then your coach takes you and says, okay, these are the things you did well, and these are the things you need to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. Like once you're performing and it's that big show of the year for you, like you don't want to be absorbing new information at that point.
Yeah, because I talked to buddy Nate Bowers, and he said the same thing. He goes, when you're in the middle of that, you don't want to hear somebody giving you advice. You want to somebody going, you need this, you need that. You got 5 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I also heard that
that's like going in a beauty pageant, deciding to change makeup at the last minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a good plan.
So I also heard that you also had a support group in the audience, and every so often somebody'd say, good job across the arena. Because everybody said, who is that?
So maybe you're talking about Jake. So Jake was, Jake, I made the decision early on, like he's down the road and he's a good friend of mine, and he is one of the most talented colt starters in the world. And I made the decision early on that I was going to try to, have him be the person I would work with on like that week to week and month to month basis leading up to it. And so I'd go over to his place, it's just 5 miles down the road, and I'd start some of his horses. We brought in a horse to start. Sometimes we worked with horses that are a little bit older to work on more refined stuff. And then, actually on the day of competition, I didn't expect this. I don't know if this was planned. It definitely wasn't planned on my part, but, I really kind of was able to tune everything out except for me and the horse and Nick, except every once in a while, the only voice I could hear would be Jake's voice. And it'd be sort of like surreal because I'd be doing this. All of a sudden I'd hear like right at a moment when maybe nothing else was happening in the other round pens, and I'd just take a feel or, turn the horse a certain way, and I'd hear a good job, and I was like, I'm on the right track.
That's great.
That's amazing.
That's really good.
Yeah. And then Juliet, she's worked for us for a while, and she was really on point with sort of the logistics of some of this stuff and helping me organize it and really giving me like a strong feeling of confidence and support on the team. And, and when we had Zoom calls for the team meetings and stuff, she'd really help me set those up. And then my wife was the 5th member of the team, and she was more probably there for like the sports psychology aspect of it and my mental aspect of it, and helping me get in the right frame of mind, like in the morning and the evening each day. And I leaned on her a lot, and she really, thank you.
And where does she have this from?
Well, she has a lifetime of competing. I mean, she's competed in eventing at a much higher level than I have. I mean, she's been to the World Equestrian Games.
She has a saddle named after her.
She has a saddle named after her. She's done Burley twice, Kentucky 5-star 3 times. I mean, her understanding of that high performance stuff, she's done way more than I have.
And it's interesting because that's where I'm going to the personal side of me. I've never been into the show thing. I've showed a couple times, but I've never gotten that thing. But it's actually a good learning. I always say that's the box I avoided. Maybe that's the box I need to open up because of all the pieces you're putting together. Just because you're a good horseman doesn't mean you're a good shower.
That's right.
And
that's right. And sometimes the thing that you avoid or that you find you have like this little brace about is the thing that's hardest to do, is sometimes the thing that you need to like find a way to lean into that sometimes,
right.
And I don't think all the time. I think there's maybe a period in your day or your life or a season for that. But I think, there's like that saying or whatever, like you should do something every once in a while that scares you.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. And it did, huh?
It scared me.
You had that moment. I think that's a good wrap-up point, actually, for this segment, because I want to ask you a few more questions on a sort of a different topic. So I think we'll wrap this segment up, but we have more with Talk with Tik. So please come back and check us out and hear the rest of the story. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show.
Tik's great though, isn't he?
Tik's, I always say he's the nicest horseman you'll meet.
Yeah.
Like he's always positive. Everything's a good thing. There's no down days. He's just solid.
He's like you said, he's positive, but he's also very like real and genuine, and
right.
Kind of what you see is what you get. And I just think it's so impressive that he won that Road to the Horse.
I always ask him, "Are you really this nice?"
He really is, because every time I'm ever around him, that's how he is.
Yeah, I've never seen a bad day, and I've been around him a few times. And
if you haven't read his book,
it's really
he's
good.
definitely had his share of challenges and put in the work and the time and gone through all the things to get where he is. So, and he's always willing to learn from other people. He's never
other expert. He's never my way or the highway. He's always open to listening and learning.
He always wants to help you, whatever your dilemma is, even if it's not horse related. He's always like, yeah, you can do that, Pete. You can write a book. You can
get his book.
Yeah.
Read his book. In the Middle of the Horseman. It's a great book. We'll be back with the final segment of this week on the Horse Talk Show, so stay with us.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equine, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center. The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, brought to you by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Little shout out to Betsy from Larson Hay. I miss you in England. We had such fun.
I was like, what? Is she back in England?
No, but I miss our travels. We had such an amazing time. We're going to have some more from the Royal Muse for you as well. But we are going to start off this segment brought to you by Wildlife Works, and it's going to be Dancing Pete Roder's Complementary Horsemanship Tip of the Week.
Dancing Pete's Tip of the Week, brought to you by Complementary Horsemanship. This tip is sponsored by WildlifeWorksLLC.com for your unwanted wild critters removal. All right, today's tip of the week is patterns. So since we had barrel racing, we talked about
Cloverleaf pattern.
Cloverleaf pattern.
See, I was paying attention.
There you go. So I like to use patterns, and sometimes when I use patterns, I break down the patterns at first, meaning we might only do one part of the pattern, and then you start combining it and moving forward with it, and then we end in a consistent place. Meaning we're going to end at this place every time until they really start understanding it. And when I'm doing these patterns, I really want to first do them to where the horse figures it out. Not I'm constantly micromanaging them. I want them to start learning that pattern and know where that end is.
Just like a barrel horse.
Just like a barrel horse.
That's a very good comparison to a barrel horse.
Yes, ma'am.
It always ends up in the same place, or it should.
Or it should. And then I want to start changing the pattern. And that means once the horse understands the pattern, I don't want it to be a brainless thing. I want it to now be, okay, I might turn left now, or I might turn right, or I might stop somewhere else, if that makes sense. So I want to change up those things and then end in different places. And then that way you get a horse that starts, you become predictable in a pattern, but I don't want it to be where they turn their brain off. I want it to be, oh, we might turn left here, we might stop here, we might go right here, we might go to a trot here, we might go to a walk here. that they're constantly looking for that pattern. So that's how I like to use patterns, is get them doing like a figure 8 pattern and turn it into a weave to change it up. And then they're like, oh, I thought we were doing this. And then they start getting it better and better. So that's my tip of the week.
It's a very good tip of the week. Excellent, especially considering our guest today.
There you go.
It's a perfect fit. Now we are going to do what we do, which is take Horse Talk Show to the dogs. The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Hi there, it's Neil Hennessy, the Ocala Dog Ranch. Happy 4th of July. Great time of the year except for the fireworks. Most animals don't like fireworks, and this is a high busy time for shelters and rescues because dogs get spooked because of the fireworks and they run away. So don't leave your dog outside unattended in the yard when there's fireworks about, and if you have to take them out on a leash. That way if you get surprised by fireworks, they don't bolt and run away, and then you have to start looking for them. Fireworks, great. I love the 4th of July, but the dogs don't think it's so great. Neil Hennessy.
Neil Hennessy, what a guy. My dogs absolutely adore that man. Well, actually, so do I. So that makes 3 of us.
There you go.
They do. They have a wonderful stay. And actually, I shared a picture on social media this week of them. The back of the truck was open, and they hopped in and looked really excited and started going in circles around in the back of the truck, wagging their tails, looking at me like, we're going to see Neil, right? I was like, I'm sorry.
And you should get one of those buttons and teach them how to hit the button that says, we're going to see Neil. We're going to Ocala Dog Ranch.
I know a guy that can probably teach them to do that.
Yeah.
So, fireworks. Not because I'm a Brit, because I do actually celebrate July 4th, because I do actually have my American citizenship. Yeah. So it isn't me deterring you celebrating your independence from the British on the 4th of July that just makes me want to ask you to go easy on the fireworks. But there are a lot of animals that are really affected by fireworks. So if you live in the middle of a horse farm area, just a suggestion, maybe you can go to a fireworks show somewhere rather than setting them off in the backyard or into a horse barn or paddock, because as much as we all want to train our horses to tolerate fireworks, and I have been in a mounted unit before where the horses were trained to tolerate fireworks, but firecrackers going out of the back of vehicles at their legs still didn't work. So, if you know you're near a dog boarding or training facility, or if you know you're in the midst of a lot of horse farms, it might just be wise to go to somebody else's house maybe in town, or go to a public show somewhere.
Or even go to your neighbor, because I've had this happen. Go to your neighbor and say, hey, we want to set off some fireworks. Are your horses going to be okay with this? Mm-hmm. And I've said, yes, they will be if you shoot them over that way.
Right.
If you shoot them this way, they might not be as okay with it.
Yes.
Because my horses are fine with fireworks as long as it's off in the distance and way up in the air.
Well, the best training my horses ever had is when I lived in Citra, because my neighbor behind had a friend who was a doctor. And he actually got his fireworks from Israel, which are supposedly some of the best fireworks in the world. And I had a party at my house one night and had some friends come over, and we had a bonfire. And the fireworks started going off as soon as we sat down at the bonfire. And all my friends thought that I had arranged this amazing fireworks show, but it wasn't. It was my neighbor. So my horses actually got very, very good with fireworks because they did not have a choice.
And with all the lightning and thunder we've been having recently, I mean, a lot of horses now, I just heard this, where the horses were up on a hill, so the fireworks were going off right in their face. So they weren't as tolerable of that.
No. So just be kind and considerate. And like Pete said, if you have a neighbor with horses, maybe they have a barn and they have an option of putting the horses in, and the barn may be further away from the noise. And if they know you're going to have one, maybe they can bring them in, or maybe they'd be better out and they can turn them out, or whatever the situation might be. But at least give the neighbor an opportunity.
And if you have the horses, remember, people do not know that it's affecting your horses.
Right.
They think they're
If
just
they
having a
don't own
good time.
horses, yeah.
Yeah, they don't know, and especially if you have a dog. I have lots of friends that have dogs that can't handle fireworks, but the neighbors don't know that.
And look, the city of Ocala is doing a great thing. They're having a celebration down at the park, down right near Seminole Feed down there, and they're doing a drone show instead of fireworks. I think that's fantastic because they're doing all the patriotic. You'll see all the lights in the sky, but it won't have the noise. So, I mean, I think that's fantastic. Now, of course, we all can't necessarily have drone shows, but I think that's a phenomenal change in not having that.
And
that
even
noise.
our humans that have defended our country, they have trouble with it.
With the noises.
Right.
Exactly. We have veterans who can't stand that noise. So
If communication was our number one thing, I think we'd have less trouble.
I know, I think so too. So all good tips and I know it usually isn't just July 4th, it's all weekend long. So if you're listening on Saturday morning on the radio and you're thinking of doing something really loud tonight, just be kind and considerate, because there are horses and dogs. I've known people who've ended up at the vet with their dogs, possible strokes and all sorts of things from it. So just be kind. We want to remind you of a few things. Gentle Carousel. Miniature therapy horses did take off this week for July 4th for the holiday, but coming back next Thursday with their reading program at the Ocala Downtown Market at 10 a.m., free for all. This is Reading with Horses, and it is a wonderful opportunity for children to have contact with a horse, meet a horse, and it be the very horse that's in the book that they read to them. So it encourages reading during the summer, and it's fun for everybody, and it's under the cover just in case it rains. So it is a great pastime for kids during the summer and encouraging literacy and the love of horses.
Just to say, the following Thursday is the Horse Talk Show sponsors.
Yes, for the reading program.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
all good stuff. So we want to wish everybody, of course, a happy and safe holiday as well. So, and that you do enjoy your July 4th weekend. Yes, Seminole's got a sale going on. We just mentioned Seminole Feed. Thank you, Pete. Seminole Feed Stores does have a special sale going on this month too, so make sure you check them out. That City of Ocala event's going on down there at the park right by Seminole Feed Stores. So we wish you all a happy and very, very safe July 4th weekend, Thursday through Sunday. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy the holiday, be safe and careful. Whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world or not, happy horsing around.
See ya.